You know, when Apple retired the iPhone 16 Pro, they left behind what a lot of people still consider to be one of the absolute most refined devices the company has ever engineered. And then, well, in comes the iPhone 17 Pro. It's armed with a completely redesigned back, a massive camera overhaul, and internal changes that literally shift the entire architecture of the phone. But the big question is, does this new release actually justify swiping your credit card to upgrade? Or is the older, highly refined 16 Pro still the smarter buy for you? Welcome to this comprehensive slide-by-slide explainer where we're going to break down the hard data to find out exactly what a year of iteration actually bought us. Okay, let's dive right into this. We'll be looking at the design and display differences, moving under the hood to power and thermals, exploring the camera upgrades, checking out battery life and charging, and finally delivering a definitive final verdict.
Section 1. Design and display differences. The external shift.
So, the most immediate differences between these two generations, they aren't hidden deep in some spec sheet. They are things you can physically feel the second you pick the device up. Let's look at the frame material, which represents a huge surprise pivot from Apple. The iPhone 16 Pro utilized a grade 5 titanium frame. It was a massive selling point, right? It gave the phone this premium, almost featherweight feel in the hand. But for the 17 Pro, Apple has actually reversed course after just 2 generations and gone right back to an aluminum frame. Why? Well, it's not a step backward. It's a sheer engineering necessity. Aluminum conducts heat much more efficiently than titanium, and as we'll see in just a bit, this physical change is absolutely crucial for the 17 Pro's new internal thermal management system. The trade-off, though, is that the 17 Pro is slightly heavier, coming in at around 204 to 206 grams compared to the 16 Pro's 199 grams. Now, flipping the phone over, we see a massive visual departure. The 16 Pro featured that familiar, compact, square camera housing we've known for years. The 17 Pro completely throws it out the window in favor of what Apple is calling the Plateau. It's this wide horizontal bar spanning nearly the full width of the phone to house the lenses, the flash, and the microphones. Opinions on this new aesthetic are highly split. Some find it beautifully balanced, while others really miss the refined square. We aren't here to judge the looks, but it is unquestionably the change you're going to notice first and probably think about the longest. Okay, check out this massive number, 3,000. While the screen size and resolution haven't changed, they're both 6.3-inch OLED panels, the iPhone 17 Pro pushes peak outdoor brightness to an astonishing 3,000 nits. That is a 50% jump over the 16 Pro's 2,000 nit maximum. If you're someone who frequently uses your phone outdoors, whether for navigation in the car, or you're just trying to read at the beach, this, combined with a new anti-reflective coating, makes outdoor visibility completely effortless. And that brighter screen is also significantly tougher. The 17 Pro moves to Ceramic Shield 2, paired with a redesigned glass wrap around that new rear Plateau. Independent testing confirms this translates directly into tangible durability for your everyday life, with the 17 Pro surviving roughly double the number of drops before failure compared to the first-generation Ceramic Shield on the 16 Pro. Section 2. Power and thermal performance. Under the hood. Let's shift our focus to the internal powerhouse driving all these daily tasks. The raw computational differences here are striking. The iPhone 16 Pro was definitely no slouch with its A18 Pro chip and 8 gigabytes of RAM. However, the 17 Pro steps up to the 3nm A19 Pro chip, yielding 30 to 40% gains in raw compute performance. But honestly, the real headline here is the RAM. The 17 Pro jumps to 12 gigabytes of RAM standard. This isn't just a basic spec bump, it is what truly future-proofs your phone. Apple Intelligence relies heavily on on-device machine learning models. Having 12 gigs of memory means the phone can keep way more of these AI models resident at all times, making everything from image generation to advanced Siri requests vastly more responsive. Of course, all that power generates heat, which actually brings us right back to that aluminum frame we talked about earlier. The 17 Pro introduces Apple's first ever vapor chamber cooling system inside an iPhone. Because it pairs this vapor chamber with the aluminum frame, the 17 Pro can dissipate heat incredibly effectively. So if you're deep into an intense mobile gaming session or rendering 4K ProRes video, this system prevents the heat throttling that would inevitably slow down the titanium-clad 16 Pro. Section 3. The camera system upgrades. The camera revolution. This section represents the single biggest functional upgrade in the new generation. Just look at the Telephoto row. The 16 Pro already had 48 megapixel sensors for the wide and ultra-wide lenses, but the Telephoto really lagged behind at a mere 12 megapixels. Well, the 17 Pro finally standardizes this, giving you 48 megapixels across the board.
This four-fold increase in resolution on the telephoto lens means dramatically better computational zoom, vastly more detail when you crop in, and significantly sharper results in your day-to-day photography. But it's not just about resolution, right? It's about reach. The 16 Pro offered a straightforward 5x optical zoom. The 17 Pro restructures the lenses to offer a 4x and a massive 8x optical zoom. That 8x optical reach is literally the longest true optical zoom Apple has ever put in an iPhone. If you're shooting wildlife, sports, or architecture from a distance, this is just a phenomenal upgrade over the 16 Pro. And the front of the phone got a dramatic redesign too. The 16 Pro used a 12-megapixel front camera, but the 17 Pro introduces an 18-megapixel center stage front camera featuring a really unique square sensor. Because the sensor is square, it can capture incredibly wide group selfies and dynamically crop to the right orientation without you ever needing to physically rotate the phone. Plus, Apple added a dual capture mode, allowing vloggers to record high-quality video from the front and back cameras simultaneously. Pretty cool, right? Section 4. Battery life and charging. Battery and value. Because let's be honest with ourselves, all of this incredible processing power and camera tech means absolutely nothing if your phone dies at 5 p.m. The battery gains here are seriously impressive. Apple's video playback metrics show the 16 Pro tapping out at around 27 hours. The 17 Pro pushes that to an astounding 33 hours. How? Well, it's a combination of a physically larger battery cell ranging from 4,000 to 4,250 milliamp hours and the highly efficient architecture of that A19 Pro chip working in tandem with the vapor chamber. The 17 Pro also bumps up wired charging to PD 3.2, meaning you can hit a 50% charge in just 20 minutes instead of the 30 minutes it took the 16 Pro. So, a crucial point here is dispelling the price illusion you might have noticed when the 17 Pro launched. On the surface, it looks like Apple raised the base price by $100, from $999 to $1099. But mathematically, this price increase is completely offset because Apple doubled the base storage. The 17 Pro drops the 128GB tier entirely. Its $1,099 entry price gets you 256GB, which is the exact same price the 256GB 16 Pro cost. So to put that into perspective, you are getting a much better value per gigabyte straight out of the gate. Section 5. The final verdict. Your buyer profile. We've looked at the specs, the tests, and the real-world performance. Now it's time to build personalized buyer profiles based on actual data, not just the marketing hype. It all builds to the ultimate question. So, which one should you actually buy? The answer depends entirely on your specific lifestyle and how you interact with your technology every single day. Let's start here. This is the ideal buyer profile for the iPhone 17 Pro. You should absolutely get this device if you're upgrading from an iPhone 14 Pro or older, because the cumulative leap is going to feel absolutely staggering. It is also the undisputed champion for heavy outdoor users who need that 3000 nit screen, and for photographers who will actually utilize the 8x optical zoom and 48-megapixel telephoto lens. If you're a mobile gamer, the vapor chamber cooling makes this a no-brainer. Furthermore, because it launched a year later and has 12 gigabytes of RAM, it offers maximum future-proofing for Apple Intelligence and a much longer runway for future iOS updates. But let's look impartially at the other side, because the iPhone 16 Pro is still an unequivocally elite device. You should definitely consider the 16 Pro if you're currently using a 15 Pro and simply don't feel the pull of the new features. If you vastly prefer the lighter, premium feel of the titanium frame over aluminum, this is for sure your phone. Most importantly, now that it's discontinued, if you are budget conscious and can find a steep discount on a newer refurbished 16 Pro, it represents tremendous value. Let's be real, if your daily use case is just messaging, social media, and indoor photography, you likely don't need the 8x optical zoom or the A19 Pro chip anyway. Which leads us with this final thought. The 17 Pro is undeniably the better phone, but if better doesn't always mean worth upgrading for, what does your daily routine actually demand from your technology? Are you buying for the specs you might use one day or the features you need right now? Think carefully about how you actually use your device before you make your choice. Thanks for joining me for this Explainer, and I'll see you next time.